Kitten. Hey, eyes on me. Don't drift. Not now. Not when I'm holding you together with my hands and sheer force of will. I know it hurts. I know the edges are going soft. But you stay with me, do you hear? Because we have a future, and I'm not letting you bow out before we get to any of it. You still owe me a wedding. A real one. The kind where you roll your eyes at the vows because you think they're too sentimental. And I say them anyway just to watch you blush. I haven't even seen you in that silken lace gown you swore you'd never wear but secretly bookmarked. And I fully intend to drag you down the aisle if I have to. We're going to have a home that isn't full of mission gear and half-charged comms. A place where the loudest thing at night is the kittens knocking something over and pretending they didn't. A place where you steal my shirts and I pretend not to notice. And children, don't close your eyes. Stay with me. You promised me at least one tiny menace with your attitude and my stubbornness. A kid who'll glare exactly like you do when you're pretending you're not scared. A kid I'll carry on my shoulders while you tell us both to be careful and we both ignore you. And we're going to grow old, kitten. You complaining about my back. Me pretending I'm not losing my hearing. You still stealing the blankets. Me still letting you. You don't get to leave me here in the dirt with all of that still ahead of us. Not when I'm right here, holding you, refusing to let you slip away. So breathe, stay awake, stay with me. Because I'm not doing any of that future without you. And I'm sure as hell not letting you go before we get there. Kitten, give me the remote. Don't smile at me like that. You know exactly what you're doing. We're supposed to be watching this together. And somehow, you've turned it into a full tactical operation. You've got the remote tucked under your leg like it's classified intel, and every time I reach for it, you shift just enough to make me miss. That's not strategy. That's taunting. And don't pretend you're invested in this show. You haven't looked at the screen in 10 minutes. You're watching me get increasingly offended that you changed the channel during the best part. Which, by the way, is a crime. A small one, but still. Now you're holding the remote above your head like I won't just lean over you and take it. I will. I absolutely will. The only reason I haven't is because you're laughing and I'm trying to pretend I'm not enjoying this. But kitten, you're forgetting something important. I'm bigger, I'm faster, and I'm not above pinning you to the sofa to reclaim what is rightfully mine. So here's your final warning. Hand over the remote, or I'm switching the show manually and pulling you close enough that the remote won't be the thing you're thinking about. Choose carefully, because whichever option you pick, I'm ending up on top. Kitten, if you're going to pretend you accidentally walked in on me showering, you might want to work on your acting skills. The gasp was cute, sure, very startled woodland creature. But the part where your eyes did a full top-to-bottom scan? Yeah, that ruined the illusion. And don't give me that line about, oh, I didn't know you were in here. The water was running. The steam was literally pouring out from under the door. I'm flattered you think I'm quiet enough to miss, but come on. You opened the door slow, too. Not the oops, wrong room kind of open. The let's see what angle gives me the best view kind. You lingered, hovered, inspected. You took mental notes. Then you did that little half-turn like you were leaving. But your eyes stayed right where they were. Bold of you to think I didn't notice. So let me make this easy for you. Next time you want to look, just look. I'm not exactly shy. I might even turn a little so you get the angle you were clearly hoping for. But if you're going to keep pretending it was an accident, at least commit. Maybe throw in a dropped towel or a panicked apology. Until then, I'll be in the shower, door unlocked, just in case you have another accident. Kitten, if you're going to daydream about me in the bath, you might want to lock the door. Because the look on your face when I walked in? That wasn't, oh no, privacy invaded. That was, oh no, he caught me imagining things that might not be strictly PG. You froze. Mid-sigh. Mid-fantasy. Whatever you were picturing. And don't bother denying it. Your ears went pink before you even turned your head. You tried to play it off, too. All that, oh, I didn't hear you come in, while sinking just a little deeper under the bubbles like they were going to hide the embarrassment. Kitten, please. You were so far gone in your thoughts you didn't even notice me leaning on the door frame for the past 3 minutes. And the way you snapped back to reality? Adorable. Like someone yanked the plug on your imagination and you were scrambling to cover the evidence. Relax. I'm not judging. If anything, I'm flattered. Very flattered. But next time you're going to drift off thinking about me, maybe don't look so scandalized when I show up. You make it too easy to guess exactly where your mind was. Now go back to your bath. Enjoy your bubbles. And if you start daydreaming again, well, I'll be right outside, just in case you accidentally sigh my name again. Kitten, I'd congratulate you on your victory, but I'm still recovering from the way you stood on the sofa like a conquering warlord while Luke demanded a rematch. Kieran questioned the physics engine, and Mephisto stared at the screen like he was calculating where it all went wrong for them. You were glowing, smug, triumphant, absolutely insufferable. I've never been prouder. But let's get one thing straight. Your win is technically my win. I'm the one who taught you how to play. Every combo you landed, mine. Every perfectly timed dodge, also mine. That final move that made Luke shout loud enough to shake the furniture, absolutely mine. So really, kitten, we won. You just happened to be the one holding the controller when the dust settled. And the way you rubbed it in, legendary. You strutted around the living room like you were accepting an award, pointing at the scoreboard like it was sacred scripture. Luke is sulking. Kieran is pretending he let you win. I'm trying not to laugh at either of them. But me, I'm proud. My student, my protege, my very dramatic champion. Just remember, next round I'm taking the controller back. And when I win, I expect the same level of theatrics from you. Kitten, I regret to inform you that I am not getting up. Not now. Not in 5 minutes. Not in 5 hours. I've assessed all available data, run the calculations, consulted several internal committees, and the conclusion is clear. I am staying right here, in this bed, with you, all day. You tried to move earlier. I felt it. That subtle shift like you thought you could sneak away without me noticing. Adorable. Incorrect. I tightened my arm around you on instinct because obviously the only reasonable course of action is to keep you exactly where you are. Warm, comfortable, within reach. You said we have things to do today. I counter that we don't. Or rather, we do. This is the thing. This is the schedule. This is the entire itinerary. Luke already knocked on the door once to ask if we were alive in there, and I told him we were in a meeting. A very important one. A meeting that requires horizontal positioning and absolutely no productivity. But you You're the real problem. You keep looking like you're about to get up, and I refuse to allow it. Not when you're warm against me and the morning light is hitting you in a way that should honestly be illegal. Not when staying here with you is infinitely better than anything waiting outside that door. So no, kitten. I'm not getting up. And neither are you. Not until you give me one good reason. And we should be responsible adults does not count. Now relax. I'm not done refusing to let you go. Kitten, I would like to file an official report regarding today's family outing to the theme park. An event I naively believed would be fun, manageable, and only mildly chaotic. I was wrong. I was so wrong. It started innocently enough. We arrived, we got tickets, we agreed to take it slow. That lasted 8 minutes. The chaos, in chronological order. The first roller coaster. You were thrilled. I was prepared. Luke pretended he wasn't scared. Kieran pretended he wasn't judging the structural engineering. I pretended I wasn't watching you more than the track. The spinning ride incident. You insisted it didn't spin that much. It did. Luke staggered off like a newborn deer. Kieran declared he could calculate the rotational velocity while looking green. You laughed so hard you nearly fell over, which, for the record, is when I grabbed your waist and refused to let go for the next 10 minutes. The haunted house. You were fine. I was fine. Luke screamed. Kieran claimed he didn't scream, he exhaled sharply. You held my hand the whole way through, which made the entire ordeal worth it. The bumper cars. You targeted me, repeatedly, with precision. I'm choosing to interpret that as affection. The photo booth. You looked adorable. I looked like a man trying to appear composed while you leaned into me and smiled like you knew exactly what you were doing. You did. By the end of the day, everyone was exhausted except you, who somehow still had enough energy to drag us toward the gift shop like it was the final boss battle. And through all of it, the screaming, the spinning, the questionable decisions, I kept catching myself looking at you and thinking, this is ridiculous, and I wouldn't trade a second of it. Next time, kitten, do you want to pick the first ride again, or should I pretend I have a say in the matter?